I want to remind you guys that 2 months ago, I put out a tweet that said, if Paimon's VA actually gets replaced, which is something that I thought would never happen, I will go back and I will play some of Genshin Impact's Natlin to see if I was far too harsh on it. I don't believe that I was, but I'm willing to go try it out and play a little bit of Genshin for the first time in 2 years if Paimon, not taken away, replaced. I want a replacement for Paimon, not a silent voice. Absolutely not. Fast forward to 17 hours ago, and Paper Bag Boy does an interview on Paimon's VA where it has been alleged that she's saying she might get replaced. Let's watch all of this.
The collective work refusal will end when the strike does, even if Hoyo doesn't sign the agreement.
Actors are too afraid to say anything because the minute that we do, we're blacklisted. I know I'm blacklisted from the last studio I spoke about this about. I had sent word to Hoyo.
Bro, is she blacklisted from looking directly at the camera? How stupid is this chick, brother? What are you looking at? And also, dear God, I knew this chick was ugly, but I mean, bro looks like Glop, son of Glop with this shit. She got like a fucking under chin the size of her belly. That's insane. Bro's an ogre.
That said, I refuse to come back until the game is union specifically. Remember, like a year or two ago, I had come forward stating that I had not gotten paid within 7 months, like for 7 months. I'm getting more into debt because I'm not getting paid on time.
Hey guys, what's going on? It's Paper.
Hey, I'm gonna be real. Corinna. You complaining about not getting paid on time? We do not care. You want to know why? Because legit, nobody at this job is working because you've been advocating for staying in and refusing to work in a company, and now half the VAs can't do anything, and if they do, they get guilted, they get harassment, they get death threats because you have made this picket line, making this space completely undesirable to work with, and you have completely obliterated any semblance of legs the entire moon had to stand on with your sheer dumbassery. We do not feel bad. We do not care. Shut the hell up.
Paper Bag Boy here. So today we are interviewing Paimon's VA, Karina Bedker. I would like to say this is an interview, not a debate, so I expect everyone in the comments to be as...
before any of you guys feel sympathy for this chick, I want to remind you that she thinks all of you are retarded. Clip in that TikTok, just a little bit of it, of the hope this helps, and all of you guys who disagree with me are fucking idiots.
YouTubers don't know anything. YouTubers don't know anything. Stop telling me to go to liars. They have more of an incentive to lie because idiots like you fall for their shit and they get paid for that. But you don't know that. Oh my God, it's almost like you're not an actor. It's almost like you're not a voice actor. And neither are these YouTubers. So nobody else's opinion that is super fucking wrong anyway matters. Hope this helps.
Just to give people some context.
Respectful and cordial as possible. So hello, Karina. Welcome to the channel. How are you doing?
Hi, I'm doing good. I've been reading a lot of books lately because I've been kind of sick, so I haven't been able to...
We don't care. We don't care. You've been sick for like 18,000 fucking years. Are you going to pretend to vomit in the toilet to gain sympathy again? We do not care.
Stream or anything, but I've been reading a lot of books, and I got into Fourth Wing. It took over my life.
Yeah, I saw that on your Blue Sky. I saw that you posted about it.
Yeah. I got my other friend Kaylee Mills into it. She then became obsessed with it so much that she got her nails done inspired by Fourth Wing.
No way.
It was really cool.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So how did you land the role of...
Why does she do these faces? Okay, I'm already getting pissed off. I got to take my sweater off because my blood pressure's rising, my body temperature's heating up. I got to cool the fuck off. Okay, I'm gonna try really hard. To get through this video.
Paimon in Genshin Impact.
Okay, so it was like every other audition that you kind of do in the industry. Got a random audition from my agent, and it was like, this is project, and I don't remember what the code name was at the time because they don't tell you what you're auditioning for ever in video games because of NDAs and stuff. But it was for the character of Paimon. the Female Traveler, and also Amber. And I auditioned for it, then turned it in, completely forgot about it until like a month later. All of a sudden, I
Wouldn't it have been nice if she got Female Traveler? That way we'd never have to hear this bitch's voice.
get a call from my agent saying, hey, they need you to come in for a callback for Paimon. And I was like, great. I don't remember auditioning for that. So then I went back, re-listened to what I auditioned with, and then walked into the callback, saw that my friend...
That being said, like Paimon's VA or hate Paimon's VA, she is the world's first talking thumb. And that is very impressive.
Chris Fiala was the director, and I was really excited because I love him. And he was then like, they don't want this to sound like anime at all. That was a lie, by the way. They want it completely grounded. So it's really funny because what I auditioned with Paimon was much closer to this sound than what it ended up being.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
How different do you think your life would be if you actually landed the role of the Female Traveler? Do you think it would be any different?
I think I would have recorded a lot less.
You think there'd be like a lot less drama going on right now?
I don't know. Drama happens to everybody,
Yeah,
right?
definitely. So what was your reaction to actually landing the...
I cannot believe after putting out 45 of the most unlikable TikToks and the most unlikable posts of all time, she says, oh, drama happens to everyone. I bet you she thinks she doesn't deserve this backlash. I bet you she's cried to her friends about why she doesn't get why everybody hates her. Holy shit.
role? Did you know it was going to be such an iconic character or not?
I don't even think Hoyo realized how big it was going to be. So, like, I also did not, like, I knew, they basically said when I walked in for my first recording, you're the Navi of this world, like, from Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. And I was like, oh, I've always wanted to be Navi. I know.
Yeah.
Hoyoverse is never beating the just copying Breath of the Wild allegations. They are never beating we're just copying Zelda allegations. And the fact that Corinna just dropped that is so obvious that all they were doing was copying Breath of the Wild. Nobody picked up on that on social media. Corinna herself admitted that Genshin is just a ripoff of Breath of the Wild. Yep, that's insane.
People find her annoying, but I
Take Navi, but make her fucking miserable to listen to.
like her.
I
And,
do too, actually. I like her a lot.
Yeah, I like it.
Nobody likes Navi. She's annoying as fuck.
And so
Hey, listen. No wonder she thinks she's likable. She doesn't get it.
I was really excited. And I also didn't realize that it was going to be a continuous thing. I remember getting to the end of like 1.1 recording, and then they were like, okay, you're done. And I thought, when did we save the sibling? I'm sure it'll make sense when the game comes out. Fine. I'm done with this game completely because we had just got went against Storm, the dragon.
Yeah.
Devalit, yes. And then they called me back like a month later, and they were like, hey, you have pickups. And I was like, oh, okay, that's normal pickups, right? Why do I have a 4-hour slot for pickups? That's a lot of pickups. Okay, whatever. I'm not going to question it. And then I go in, and then they're like, yeah, you got about like 10 pickups today. And I'm like, and I need 4 hours for that? And they're like, well, then you're going to continue on with 1.2. And I go, what do you mean 1.2?
So you found out that you were doing more?
And then that was when like the director was like, oh yeah, you're going to be recording this for like 5 years.
Yeah, that's crazy. Oh my goodness, that's insane.
I know none of you guys probably want to listen to this, and I encourage everybody who is, I applaud everybody who is actually sticking with this through me. I have a really hard time not showing how I feel with my face. So I apologize for any feelings of disgust you might see coming from how I'm looking at something. But I'm going to listen to this just in case she slips up and says anything that I think is newsworthy. We already found one. I think we'll find more, but we're going to listen to the whole thing. I apologize, guys.
The reason they could even do a pickup is like sometimes they've said, so you put emphasis on this word and we actually want emphasis on this word.
Yeah.
It could be as simple as that. And then like on the very rare occasion, sometimes, when you're in the recording, you're recording there for 4 hours. The sound engineer is probably sick of hearing me because I have that high pitched squeaky noise he has to listen to. And mind you,
So is everybody else on planet Earth.
when we record, it's only one person recording at a time. So he is listening to a high pitched squeaky voice for 4 hours. So any sound engineer would be like, oh, I hate this. And maybe they might have missed
And any player, too.
a tiny little glitch in the thing that they like in the recording that they can't edit out. So then they'll pick up for that.
Yeah. So so when you're in the studio, are there any other voice actors at all?
Nope, there
Just
is
you?
just me. So basically, the script is in front of me. Also, we don't get the script in advance either, so we are cold reading everything. The script is in front of me. I get to see what the other characters are saying, and if you're lucky enough, the director will also be cool and read what the characters are saying, so that way you can kind of play off of it. But no, we don't have the other actors there at all.
Yeah, that's different than I thought. I thought you would kind of play off of one another. So Paimon's voice obviously has a super high energy vibe. You know what I'm talking about. I think everybody does. How do you get into her headspace for recording?
So my idea with Paimon is that like part of what helps any voice actor come up with a voice for a character is looking at the character itself. Half of her face is her eyeballs. So if you just yeah, I know. If you just imagine all of the air coming out of your eyeballs, all of a sudden you get this nasally voice
Oh my
already.
God.
And then because Hoya wanted it really high, you add the high pitchness to it. And then also like part of like I always have
I've never met somebody who owns a poodle that isn't a bitch.
added a list on her. Like it's a very light list, but it is there. So Paimon kind of has a list attached to it. And then, like, when it comes to, like, the attitude of Paimon, it was
I feel like I'm in hell,
what Hoya
guys.
had told me was they wanted her really talkative. They wanted people to think that she was annoying. And that they wanted this idea of a very childlike floating character hanging out with you. And I was like, great, I voice children all the time. I know exactly how to do that.
Yeah, but that's also something I don't think a lot of the fans realize is that there's nothing that's going to happen in voice acting that the director does not want or that the people in charge don't want.
It's what the client doesn't want. Yeah, the director has some sway onto like gear the client to do something that he wants. But at the end of the day, the client is the one making those choices. And I remember being there on my first day and doing what I did for the audition. And they were like, can you do it? Can you go higher? And it's literally the Hoyo client that was sitting there saying, go higher. No, higher. We want it even higher. Can you possibly go higher? And I was like, you know what? Here you
Listen, I'm going to explain this to you, Paper Bag Boy, because I feel like you just tried to say that Paimon isn't that bad. I want to make this very clear, okay? Paimon's voice is annoying, right? It is. It's objectively annoying because it's supposed to be, because the client made a shitty fucking decision. Players didn't have a problem with that. The problem now is we know Corinna Boatger is a dumb fuck piece of shit behind the scenes. So we don't want her a part of the fucking game. Because now we have to listen to an annoying ass voice with a shit ass personality who's done a lot of shitty fucking things. And the thing is with Paimon, we just want her dialogue reduced by about 80%. That's what's best for Genshin Impact. And for the love of God, give us a skip button.
go. And
Oh, by the way, fuck the client too. They're retarded.
I'm a ridiculously high-pitched person, so they got lucky on that.
Yeah, that's insane. Oh,
Yeah, and then it kind of grew into what you have today.
Yeah. So with, obviously Genshin has a huge voice cast. Do you get to meet any of the other VAs? And if you do, what is the atmosphere like with them?
I actually know most of them from previous stuff. For example, Kaylee Mills, Brianna Knickerbocker, Jenny Okabori, Allegra Clark, Zach Aguilar, Joe Zija.
Allegra Clark, my number one hater. Jesus, that makes a lot of sense.
Like all of those,
That makes a lot of sense.
We were all friends way before because in the voice acting industry, it's a lot smaller than you think. So usually we all kind of know each other either through like meeting each other like at meetups that voice actors have, or like in classes, or you know just because we happen to work on the same project. So eventually there's a meetup because of that. Yeah, and then for those of I did make some new friends too, like Sarah Miller Cruz I met through this game, Chrissy Kate I met through this game, and Yakko I met through this game. All lovely people that I got to become friends with. So it's kind of like a
You know the other voice actors are fake as fuck if they're actually friends with this piece of shit. And also, I don't want to make you guys think this girl's any worse than she already is. Brother owns 6 Funko Pops, unironically. Jesus Christ, bro. I mean, if that's not a self-report, I don't know what is.
mixture of like a lot of them I knew from before, and some of them I like met through the game itself.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
this is obviously where we get to a tough question. You know the drama that's going on, and we can't avoid it. It's something that has to be discussed. So why was Jacob Takanashi getting the role as Kanish received so poorly by the other voice actors?
The reason why is because in the United States, like obviously actors stick together, and actors. I remember being a very young actor working in theater and being told you never take the role of a striking actor. You know, you do not do that. That is not okay. It's not cool. But even further than that, in the United States, we have a strong history of sticking by our fellow workers and not taking the jobs of those that are striking. And you can.
Yeah, but if they're striking because they're greedy and stupid, then they deserve to be replaced. And how fucking dare you continue to work on this strike and you cast judgment on every other person who tries to work like you have been doing since day one, at the same time preaching how noble you are. Hypocrite.
Not like the way that I went about it. That is 100% valid. You're very welcome to have that opinion. But at the end of the day,
why is everything related to Genshin and Genshin itself just terrible? Because the game fucking sucks and the community fucking sucks.
it has been a strong history that when a worker takes the job of a striking actor, you call them out.
Yeah. Okay.
That's what you're supposed to do. And again, you don't have to like it. You don't have to like me for it. That's totally fine. But that's the reason why. They only had me audition for the Sailor Stars characters. And I did that. And then like a month or two goes by and I was like, well, I didn't book it. Whatever. I can beg Jamie to be like an intern.
Guys, if you thought waterboarding was bad, welcome to listening to Paimon's voice actor. Yeah, for 30 minutes, guys. We're so close to the finish line, I promise you.
On the production side or something.
Yeah.
No big deal. That way I'm at least a part of the show because I love Sailor Moon. I watched it when I was a kid. Only to, like, 6 months later, get a call from Jamie being like, hey, you want to be in Sailor Moon? I was like, Jamie, don't join me. And he hangs up. He's like, oh my God, are you hurt? I got Sailor Moon.
For you soon, or is it still just going to be Paimon? I know you're not voicing Paimon.
Here we
That's
go.
a great memory. So
Here we
are there
go.
any new major roles?
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. We got to the part. Fuck! What was I at? Okay. We finally got to the part where we should care about.
Oh, awesome.
No,
That's a great memory. So are there any new major roles coming up for you soon, or is it still just going to be Paimon? I know you're not voicing Paimon at the moment, but is there any
For the love of God, no new major roles. For the love of God. If I hear she's coming to Wuthering Waves, I'm just fucking splattering myself right now.
new roles that you have coming up?
Correct. After Jacob was replaced, I sent notice to Hoyo saying that I would no longer voice Paimon until they became union, so they'll probably just replace me. But moving on, I do have other roles in the mix right now. A lot of them are under NDA, but something that actually came out recently that I'm actually really proud of.
Okay. So her saying that she said she will no longer voice Paimon until the union's over, or the union strike is over, is most likely a precursor because she's already been let go and she's trying to cope and seem noble for her cause when she was working throughout the entire strike. I cannot confirm that, but that is most likely what is happening. She wants to set herself up to be seen as I left rather than getting fired. That's very interesting. Let's keep going.
It is Robo Gobo. It's on Disney Plus. I voice a little snake character in it, and then I also voice some random other characters in some other episodes. So it's a really cute toddler show. I'm not in it a lot, but I'm in it a little bit. And
Going from the main character of Genshin back to Robo Gobo. How the mighty have fallen.
it's a
Finally, she's where she deserves.
very adorable show, and it's probably
Please stay in Disney Plus.
not going to be anything that your audience is going to even want to see. But I'm really proud of it regardless, because it was like I've worked with
Trust me, you voicing Paimon is not anything our audience wants to see either.
Disney before on the
Although I will admit, a snake, perfect typecasting.
on-camera side, and also in an anime that they were producing. I don't remember what Disney produces, but this was my first like official, actual, original animation with Disney that I've worked on. So it was really cool, and Disney was really awesome. They actually gave me the so in animation when they're drawing the character of what my character should look like, except for Ida's Omnium Files, they did give me a free version of the game, which does not happen ever.
You can have any role at all, like literally just any dream role.
Mothra.
Mothra?
Yeah.
Mothra, like,
I love Mothra. I want to be Mothra.
That's actually dope. Oh my
Yeah.
goodness. Like, I'm going to be a monster. I feel like I could be a pretty good monster,
I
maybe.
think you could, yeah, with a voice like that, for sure.
Yeah. Okay, so this is where we get to one that all
She's retarded, right? She just by the way that she talks, she's got to be full-blown retarded, right? Am I crazy?
of the fans want to know. It's what everybody's here for. Do you believe the collective work refusal will end when the strike does, even if Hoyo doesn't sign the agreement?
So I can't
Okay, let's hear it. All right, here we go. Great question, man. Let's see here.
speak for the rest of my castmates when it comes to this, so I'll only speak on my own behalf on this. As I said earlier, when Jacob got replaced as his character Kenichi in Genshin, I had sent word to Hoyo that said I refuse to come back until the game is union specifically. And the reason
Okay, so she's not going to come back when the strike's over. She's going to come back when the game becomes union. And the game's not becoming union. So this should more or less prove that she's already out of the game and she's coping very hard and trying to say, I didn't get fired, I quit.
why I said union specifically, because I know some other actors, they just want an AI like protection signed. That's all they.
That's already happened. You didn't need that. You never needed that. And the fact that you're still peddling this lie, anybody who researches this knows that is already in the game.
Want, and they're willing to come back into work. For me personally, I will not come back unless it's union.
It was never about AI. It was never about AI.
And the reason why is because we are still having issues with getting paid within the 30 days as stated on our contract. If we still, and mind you, remember, I like a year or two ago, I had come forward stating that I had not gotten paid within 7 months, for 7 months. This most recent time, I've been consistently not getting paid on a 30-day basis, but for this one, it took 5 months for me to get paid finally.
Yeah, that's a long time.
It's a very long time, and I work paycheck to paycheck. And at this point,
bitch, you better be on the streets. You got nothing. Brother, you about to be on the streets when you lose this role. Oh, man. Oh, man. Maybe if you didn't call your entire audience retards, maybe they'd be willing to help you out. Ain't nobody like your ass, brother. Hey, I got a great new opportunity for Paimon to voice act. It's called a McDonald's customer service employee. Here's what I want you to say, Paimon. Hello, sir. May I take your order? Why don't you try that one?
I'm getting more into debt because I'm not getting paid on time.
Yeah.
And if I still have to ask my parents to help me pay for my rent, I might as well actually take a stand here and say, well, I have to do that anyway. So
that's because voice acting is a side job, not a main job for 99.9999999% of people. You're being lazy as shit if you're going paycheck to paycheck and you're not getting a real job because once every 4 months you work for 4 hours. Brother, get a real job. Holy fuck, this one reeks of unemployment.
Knowing that my contract is not being obligated the way it should be currently.
Asking your parents to pay your bills. 35 years old. Asking your parents to pay your bills. Dear God. Holy shit. First of all, you don't look a day over 70. Holy shit. How little pride do you have to ask for financial compensation from your parents because you're a spoiled brat that refuses to work a real job?
In the state that it's in, it tells me that even if an AI protection were to be signed, unless there is actual enforceable protections, I cannot trust that it will actually do anything. And I look, you can have your feelings about what you feel about SAG, but at the end of the day, voice actors do not make enough money to pay for lawyers to be able to actually enforce what's in our contracts, which is why these studios don't pay us on time because they...
Well, maybe you could have started the GoFundMe with the good faith you've gotten from your fucking fans. But the problem is now nobody has faith in you because you spent the last year lying to us what the strike was actually about, as well as going as far as to insult your own audience that without them you would have nothing. So maybe that's why you can't afford lawyers. Maybe next time we treat the people who build us up with respect and we don't lie to our consumers and we don't lie to our community. What a novel thought, huh?
know this.
And I want to just remind you, Paimon, just because you voice a character in a video game does not make you better than the people who play it. Okay? Congratulations. You got lucky with the genetics to sound retarded on birth. And now they wanted a character that sounds retarded. You are not voice acting. You are merely talking. You got lucky, and now you think that your shit don't stink. And you have completely lost sight of everything the strike was supposed to be about. And it's a shame. And you still want to play a victim when all of your issues are brought onto you by yourself.
Definitely see that as like the main issue. That would be, if I was voice acting, that would be my number one issue, is getting paid on time, considering the fact that I worked in the acting industry. It actually...
You want to know why nobody feels bad for you? Brother, you go live and talk for 4 hours and get paid thousands of dollars. Meanwhile, you have people showing up at McDonald's, Best Buy, plumbing, construction working a job they fucking hate, yet doing it with a smile because they know they fucking have to, without bitching or moaning at all. This is the most unrelatable human being on fucking earth. Since Hassan Piker saying streaming is the hardest job on the planet because it's soul-sucking. Be grateful for the beautiful opportunity that you have, and you've squandered it by being fucking lazy and trying to work a side job as a main gig. Go out, get a real job, then you would have been fine having to wait a little bit longer for your payments, and suck it the fuck up. Nobody is going to feel bad for anybody in the entertainment industry. Nobody's going to feel bad for anybody in the fucking content creation industry, because it's a beautiful blessing that we get to work on this. And the fact that you're so ungrateful, you're so out of touch, that you're trying to farm sympathy because they were a couple months late one time for a paycheck. Shut the fuck up, man.
Actually experienced it firsthand whenever someone blows you off again and again and again, and you don't get paid for months. It's ridiculous.
And the fact that this has already been addressed once and it still has not been fixed, and it's 2 years since then or 1 year, but this is a consistent problem within our industry, is that studios regularly do not pay their non-union work on time.
Yeah.
Regularly. And actors are too afraid to say anything because the minute that we do, we're blacklisted. I know I'm blacklisted from the last studio I spoke about this about. I know that.
That's crazy how you complain about being blacklisted when you guys blacklisted me from trying to help y'all find more support for your cause. Yeah, you remember that? You remember when I talked to the Genshin VAs? Remember when I talked to the Honkai Star Rail VAs? Remember when I talked to the Wuthering Waves VAs? And you remember all I was trying to do was help y'all out, and then you blacklisted me. You blacklisted me. So I'm not going to feel bad for the blacklister getting blacklisted.
It's definitely something that my viewers
Woo-wah voice actors I'm still cool with. Woo-wah VAs I'm still cool with.
know about, because it's something that I bring up often, is the fact that in the voice acting space, blacklisting happens way more than anybody even wants to admit that it does. Whether it's coming from directors, casting directors, things like that.
For sure. And it's why most actors will not say anything. It's why we stay silent while we're suffering and just trying to get paid. And again,
Suffering. Voice actors suffering. I had to go live and talk for 4 hours today. Oh my God. Oh, it was so hard. We're out here suffering. Shut up, bro. Just get a real job and do that shit on the side. It's barely any work regardless. Relax, dude. I can't wait for a voice actor to tell me how hard their job is. Relax. Weren't you helping them before? Yeah, until they became this unlikable and bitched this much.
voice actors, most voice actors, like myself, are paycheck to paycheck. I'm on food stamps myself. I know several.
Get a job! No one's stopping you from getting a job! Holy shit! Jesus! You work 4 hours every 3 months! Go get a job!
Voice actors, like myself, are paycheck to paycheck. I'm on food stamps myself. I know several other voice actors in Genshin that are also on food stamps, or they have 4 to 6 other jobs that they're working on besides just voice acting because it does not pay the bills. And so knowing all of that and then on top not getting paid in a timely manner, this is very simple stuff that should be easy to do. And at the end of the day, technically, legally, it is the studio's obligation to pay us on time, but Hoyo is the one that needs to sign the SAG contract, so that way we actually have enforceable protections when it comes to this.
Okay, yeah.
So for myself, I will not come back until it is union, because as of right now, I cannot trust that I will.
Hey, Corinna, you have an option right now, okay? Okay? You can get a real job or welcome home. Right? It's either that or homeless. Take your pick, buddy. Take your pick, buddy.
Will get paid on time unless a union is actually there, a union representative that can call them and say, hey, you didn't pay your actor.
Yeah, I could definitely see that. That definitely clears the air, I feel like, with a lot of people about, at least your intentions when being involved. And I definitely think a lot of people could be empathetic to that situation, because I know that I definitely can, with not being paid and also being a contractor myself, IRL. It's something you seriously have to deal with. And if you don't have anybody protecting you, then you have to pay the upfront cost to get yourself protected, essentially, to make sure that you get paid as a person. But it was really great having you on. I hope you come back. Where can fans find you at? And if you still have your acting course,
Yeah, the unemployment line and at her local food shelter is where you can find her. Hope that helps. Hey, if you want to meet up with Paimon, go to your local unemployment line. Or if you check your local 7-Eleven, she'll be on the street corner begging for change. Feel free to give her a nickel to stay on. Yeah, great. Hey, Paimon, get fucked. Like, comment, subscribe. Welcome home!